All right, what's up, y'all, man? Breaking news. This video won't be anything fancy, but I mean, I'm literally just seeing this and I'm about to read this report with y'all. But breaking news is saying that Shannon Sharpe is officially being sued for SAing or graping a woman. This is crazy, and what's even crazier is they announced the lawsuit while Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith was live on air on ESPN. And to make it even worse, the title of their video on ESPN ironically coincides with the title of this lawsuit. And before we even get into the lawsuit itself, I do want to announce to my subscribers that for the first time in the 4.5 years that I've had this YouTube channel, I plan to go live for the first time ever on this channel sometime in the next week or so. So you all be on the lookout for that. I'm super excited. But yeah, man, let's take a look at this lawsuit. It says here, Shannon Sharpe accused of rape in $50 million lawsuit after quote unquote rocky consensual relationship. Hall of Fame tight end Shannon Sharpe has been accused of rape by a woman under the pseudonym Jane Doe in a 13-page, $50 million civil lawsuit filed Sunday, according to Pro Football Talk. The complaint filed in the Nevada State Court alleges the ESPN personality committed assault, battery, and engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress during a rocky consensual relationship that lasted nearly 2 years with a woman more than 30 years younger than him. The complaint accuses Sharpe of being manipulating and controlling and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her. The complaint claims that Sharpe recorded the two involved in acts together without her knowledge and then shared those videos with his friends and associates without her knowledge or permission. The plaintiff is not the woman that Sharpe accidentally shared audio of on an Instagram live stream on accident, quote unquote on accident, while having SCX in September 2024, the complaint states. However, the plaintiff claims she began to end the relationship after that incident, and Sharpe relentlessly pursued her afterwards. A woman can say yes to consensual relations with a man 99 times, but when she says no even once, that no means no. Dang. Defendant Shannon Sharpe, a man who is accustomed to getting what he wants, completely fails to understand this basic concept. After many months of manipulating the control of plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and graped plaintiff despite her sobbing and repeatedly screams of no. Sharpe was sued the same day. Front Office Sports reported that he is expected to sign a deal for his Club Shay Shay podcast that would exceed $100 million after his contract with Colin Cowherd's The Volume Podcast Network expired recently. The woman is represented by Micah Nash and Tony Busby, according to the report. So if you all don't remember, Tony Busby is the guy who's representing folks that are making accusations against P. Diddy, making accusations against Jay-Z. Listen, man, like this is, oh my gosh, bro, this is about to break the internet. And one thing about Shannon Sharpe, I'm going to call it now. Unless he's heavily advised by his attorneys not to do it, Shannon Sharpe is probably going to address it to some extent on his show. He's always been a person to do that. I remember when the accusations came out about Fox Sports with Skip Bayless and all those folks over there, and Joy Taylor and all of them, he spoke about it because his name was kind of floating around in those accusations as well, and he addressed it head on. And for this to come out and for it to not only be accusations, but accusations that are recent, they're saying that this happened as early as the end of last year. So just not even 6 months ago. This is crazy, bro. And I just can't, I'm not victim shaming, but I just can't help but question, how is it that this comes out now, just around the same time that he's about to sign these major deals for his podcast? You know, the Shannon Sharpe and Nightcap Club Shake blowing up. He's up for all these different awards, and this comes out. I don't know, bro. Like, it makes me look and say there's some sort of orchestrated something going on behind the scenes to like keep some of these folks in place if they blowing up too fast. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not one to defend a lot of celebrities, man, because I believe all of them have ways about them to get to where they are. You know, that's kind of my history on this channel. But you got to call a spade when you see it. I know Shannon Sharpe was accused quite a bit, and even I alluded to it being a possibility of when the audio came out of him, you know, allegedly having intercourse with some woman. I believe that was last year sometime.
I'm about to get the hammer. old black hammer. Man, they know about old black hammer.
Touch this.
When you lay your head on that pillow at night, you know I gave you everything I had.
I raised my suspicions because, a lot of rumors were coming out that Shannon Sharpe was, potentially gay, and, one of the most popular videos on this channel, actually, which may end up hitting 1 million views by the end of this year, or shoot, at this point, probably by the summertime, is a video of comedian Corey Holcomb claiming that both Shannon Sharpe and Will Smith are undercover homosexuals, and that a lot of people in Hollywood already know this to be true. And, of course, I don't know if these things are true. It's not my business. But I do speak about things like that when it ties to a much bigger agenda that's being pushed in Hollywood into the masses, into our young people. But just generally speaking, I don't care what people's sexual orientation is. That's their personal business. However, this is crazy, bro. And they already know, like, when people are accused of stuff like this, whether it's proven to be true or not, because remember, it's a civil lawsuit, y'all. It's showing here that it's a civil lawsuit. It's not a criminal lawsuit. It says Busby represented more than 20 women who sued Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson beginning in early 2021. This is not the reputation that Shannon Sharpe once tied to his name, bro. The 3-time Pro Bowler settled 23 or 24 lawsuits filed against him, that being Deshaun Watson. Bro, this is not good, y'all. This is not good. And we can say that she's lying all we want, and she's bitter, and she's jealous, and she just wants his money, because it is at the end of the day a civil lawsuit. But we gotta wonder, we gotta just, he's working for ESPN, and with these sort of accusations, I just hope, bro, if this stuff is not real, I mean, if it's not true and he actually did not do these things to this woman, I hope ESPN don't, like, temporarily suspend him or just have him off air. Bro, this is crazy. But if he is guilty of this, let me make sure I say this. If he's guilty of the things and it's proven that he's guilty of it, then I 100% think that everything that comes his way, he deserves it. And I think that she's doing the right thing by trying to take everything from him, because you should not take advantage of a woman if she says no. But I got to say this as well. It gets tricky with the no stuff, because we all know, yes, no means no, but we got to call a spade, y'all. All of us know somebody or have been in situations before where you're with your woman, your girlfriend, your wife, and no don't always mean no. And no can be, people have their fetishes and people have their role playing, and no could actually mean yes. And many times in consensual relationships, when you have an understanding, I'm not saying that applies to everybody and you should just presume that in some cases when people say no that they actually mean yes. That's not what I'm saying. Do not twist my words. But we all have been in consensual relationships of 5, 10, 15 years. I don't know, bro. I don't want to get too much because this is on the internet and people can take my words and twist them. All I'm saying is, if he actually took advantage of a woman who genuinely did not want to do anything with him, and she was crying and telling him no, and it can be proven that he did this, Shannon Sharpe is guilty and he deserves everything that comes his way. But when it's only a civil lawsuit, and it's not, because it's not like something happened 20 years ago. If it just happened at the end of 2024, why are you not criminally charged, like going after him as well? Why is it only civil? And it just so happens to be around the time this dude is signing these contracts. This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. I'll keep my eyes on it, man. We'll see what comes from it. But this is wild, man. Hop in the comment section. Give me y'all thoughts, man. Till next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Diddy got a podcast.